Guys and girls, what an explosive 24 hours on the northern beaches of Sydney with the storms, with the floods yesterday. Chronicles of a Property Manager, we're going to talk about it right now. Stay tuned.
Good morning.
Charles, how are you?
I'm great. Look, we are live here at Novak HQ. What are we talking about today?
Mate, those floods just right past our office. Incredible. I'm 45 years of age. I have never seen that much water in the northern beaches, in DY, in Manly. It was out of control. Never, ever seen something like that.
Yeah, look, it'd be silly not to talk about it because it's a bit hard to miss it. All the roads are closed. You've got cars floating down the road next to you. You've got people's houses being destroyed, piling onto the street. It's exactly what we've seen up in Lismore for the last few weeks, and North Queensland, stuff like that. And it's come down to have it stay in Sydney for a few days. Now, look, neither one of us are in property management, Mark, but it's hard to ignore what's going on in that sector at the moment. We've got properties all over the northern beaches with flood damage, with water damage, with plumbing damage, and we thought we'd address it this morning, didn't we?
Yeah, you know what? I think that people, a lot of prospective, a lot of tenants out there don't realise that everyone's damaged. I think yesterday's event, if you had a house that was undamaged, you're probably 1 in 1,000. So 999 properties out of every 1,000 were damaged in some way, shape, or form yesterday. So, in terms of getting things done at the moment, there's got to be, and I think everyone has to realise there's got to be a process that's followed, and unfortunately, there's got to be a prioritisation. People are out of their homes. They don't have the clothes from their homes. They don't have food from their homes. Some people don't have a vehicle to even get around. So I think probably the next 24 hours it's a little bit raw. And I think that if you can register with your insurance company or your claim and be patient, or register with your property manager and be patient. The be patient part is really, really important, because that be patient part will allow insurance companies, property managers to actually prioritise who they can help the fastest, and then peg it. So unfortunately, it's like, my house is leaking, I want my house fixed. There's that in the corner. There's a bit of water damage, but bear in mind there's a lot more people in worse circumstances. It doesn't mean it doesn't get fixed. It just has to take a priority. And people in the community, I think, if everyone wants to know how they can how they can help through this, I think just a bit of patience for the insurance companies, and a bit of patience, so priority can be taken with the people in desperate need.
Absolutely right. Look, there's definitely a process, like you touched on, that needs to be followed in regards to having all these properties fixed. We've got, like you said, close to thousands of properties which are a bit damaged at the moment, which all need urgent attention. Unfortunately, we don't have the manpower to have that happen. So in the next coming days, what I think, working very close to a lot of the property managers in the office, are telling people is, look, just like you said, be patient. There's not much that can happen with your property. We can't have roofers go on. We can't have leak specialists come in while this rain is still going on. We can't have your carpets dried just to have them be wet again, just to have them dried again. It's really a tough spot at the moment, because obviously we want all these properties fixed and we want everyone as dry as possible. But like I was saying, with this rain still continuing and not looking like it's ceasing anytime soon, it's really important that we just have everyone batten down the hatches, make sure all their electricals are safe, make sure all their loved ones are safe, and just stay safe, stay dry, as best as they can.
So a couple of technicalities that you, because you're dealing with this all the time. I think I think first thing out of today, when it's patients, what are some of the things you saw yesterday?
Look, we saw it all yesterday in regards to water damage, flood damage, stuff like that. Look, from people having their cars washed out of their lock-up garages and go down the street, to huge
Incredible.
liters upon liters of water coming out of light sockets, out of light fittings, out of just plain ceilings, holes in ceilings, to just floods just ravaging houses. We really saw it all yesterday. To half of our property in Narrabeen and the Warriewood area being evacuated as it's that close to the dam and the Narrabeen Lagoon. That was a really stressful situation in and of itself, with everyone needing to evacuate. But yeah, it's without mentioning. Yeah, it was crazy.
I was in Manly trying to get to Brookvale yesterday, and literally each time I got to a crossing, i.e. Queenscliff Road, going over the Queenscliff Bridge, I got turned away. That took 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Then I moved across to Pittwater Road, where the bridge is there, just near Harris Farm. That took me 45 minutes. Got turned away, and then headed up Sydney Road, which is a nice high point, of which then tried to turn right to go down past trip yesterday. Took almost 2.5 to 3 hours to head towards the office. It was absolutely crazy stuff. What I'm surprised that people don't do is stay put. That's the biggest thing I learned out of yesterday is why would you get in your car? Just stay where you are. If you're at work, stay at work. Public safety is more important than even your home. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of people headed towards their homes and just caused this chaos during traffic, and just got locked roads. Amazing.
Yeah, it's mental. Well, you didn't see it yesterday, Mark, but I had a little late evening in office. I was hearing about all the horror stories of people on the roads. I was hearing about people, like friends and family, who were taking 2 hours to get from suburb to suburb. So I just decided to stay in office a bit later till around 7, and then I'll took my venture to the roads. At what time? It was absolutely fine.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. I didn't. Yeah, I headed just up Warringah Road, and it's a nice high point, French's Forest, nice high area on a hill. So it was absolutely fine.
So something to mention that for people also now, a lot of people are going to be making claims with insurance companies. As property managers, we learn what the best way forward to make claims, to be very specific when making claims, so that your claims are successful in totality. I think insurance companies have a reputation of paying. I think they never say no to a claim in these times. But what I do know, being a property management company, is make sure you don't underclaim what you're claiming. The insurance company will have loss adjusters, and these guys that are coming out to have a look at your property. These I think they call them super. Anyway, what are basically consultants of the company. So if you're insured with NRMA, often they'll have an external company contracted to them that will come out and inspect the loss and take photos and things like that. Often that person will say, that's not claimable, that is claimable, that's not claimable. So you can potentially have a claim of 10,000 reduced to 5,000. What I urge people to do when making claims in the Northern Beaches is make sure you have evidence of everything and make sure you claim everything. There is a distinction between grey water. There is a distinction between stormwater. When you're claiming on insurance, the way that's actually noted is very, very important. It will affect your claim. So you must always remember, grey water is stuff that it's can be anything in the water that's sort of not being able to be identified. It can be soil, it can be sewage, it can be building debris. That is dangerous stuff, and you don't want that on clothes. You don't want that in a bedroom. You don't want that hanging around. So I think it's very, very important that when you're making a claim that you make mention that it wasn't just rain, that it was grey water. And to be further clear on that, with your house discharging water, your house will just discharge stormwater through the gutters and through the side footpaths into the ground and out to the street. It'll go into the gutters of the street, and you probably don't see it coming out. If you're on the high side of the street, you'll see it coming out in a hole in your gutter. You know those holes, and you see them spewing out water. And if you're on the low side of the street, believe it or not, your pipe goes down to your backyard, through down your neighbour's property, onto the street below. That's where your stormwater goes, right? All of that has to be managed and make its way out. Now, grey water is sewage, so that'll come out of, well, not particularly sewage, but it'll come out of your sinks, your bathtub, your shower, your dishwasher. That will be piped, and that will be piped out and actually treated. So there's two different types, but just make sure in your claim that you're claiming that it's the point of no return. You're claiming as much as you can, because you will be minimised that claim. And bear in mind, timber expands and will take 3 to 7 days to expand. So what you may be claiming today, you may have to claim more on later. Don't miss it. It's easy to miss. You often see it in the bottom of shower cabinets when it expands.
Yeah, 100%. And front doors getting jammed and windows swelling, stuff like that. There's a numerous amount of things that can be claimed, and many things that you just wouldn't want to miss out on, because it can have long lasting effects on the property going forward. Give it with all this water that we're receiving 1 or 2 years time. Who will know what damage is still yet to be uncovered, and what might just need a little, not just 1/5 of the water we're receiving here to present itself again.
Yeah. And also, the different types of timbers are going to operate differently, so don't expect to think that one thing's automatically going to be all right over there, because it's the same thing. You know, the door of the cabinet in the bathroom is made from different timber to the door of your bedroom, so it will operate differently. So keep an eye out on it, guys. And those doors not closing, claim it. Don't miss a beat. Take photos, have evidence. Don't miss it, because you're going to get one chance. If you don't make that claim with those guys, and you turn back, it could be something that's going to annoy you for years and years and years, because you've never got it fixed.
Yeah, 100%. Look, what can we offer people in these times, Mark? What can we do specifically?
I think I think communicate as heavily as we can with everyone out there. there's spreading good information out there. It's a bit like what we're talking about today. Share this with people that are making claims at the moment, that are getting repairs done at the moment on the northern beaches. Our office is open if people need internet, somewhere to work from, coffee, hug, whatever. We're open. We're open for you guys. What do you think? Anything else there?
Look, I think you hit the nail on the head. We're all going through it at the moment. Everyone's got their issues, their problems, whether you're dealing with it specifically or not. I believe everyone on the Northern Beaches at the moment has loved ones, has friends, has family who have been affected in one way or the other. So it's really a good time for us to come together as a community and have each other's back. Obviously, like we were touching on earlier, having compassion for everyone would be amazing in these times. I know how hard our property management team are working to try and get everyone's properties fixed, just community support plus friends and family plus people on our live stream. It really does just make it all the much better, and we can only hope to return the favor.
All right, guys, let's do what we're going to do. We've got work ahead. And you know what? Tradies were hard enough to get to come and do repairs and maintenance on building sites. Never mind now.
Look, well, we've got half our tradesmen going, why are we not getting calls? And we're going, well, if you don't work in plumbing, unfortunately, we don't have much work for you at the moment. And they're all going, damn, Mr. Money pile, I guess.
Yeah, well, people like Deegan and the experts out there, I think they can do that. And don't forget, guys, you should be minimising your loss. Insurance companies will always look for that. So, and I think we naturally do that as people. But yeah, you want to make sure that minimising your loss in your property. I think they said the winds are coming. If you've got trees that are a bit too close to the house, get rid of them, because there's some incredible winds coming through today, apparently. Get that chainsaw out, kids.
Wonderful. Well, I guess we'll leave it there. Thank you for talking this morning, Mark.
Mate, thank you, and good luck, everyone. And just remember, you are being heard by your insurance company. You are being heard by your property manager. But there are priorities of people that are actually out of their homes at the moment, so we've just got to be a little bit patient. Your repair may not be the most urgent out there. But we're definitely onto it as a property management company.
100%.
Thanks, man.
Wonderful. No worries.
See you, bro.